Hello, ventriloquist, dummy figure fans out there. James Garcia here, and I've got another box that came to me in the mail. Another figure, another vent figure, and this one's an old one. Anybody who has studied ventriloquism and knows the history of figures, figure making, always has some kind of interest in a Frank Marshall figure, and that's what's in this box right here. They're hard to get, they're expensive, they're rare at this point, but they're around. But when you can find them, you can get them for a good price. Snatch them up is what I say. And thanks to eBay, that's how I got this one. You can actually get a good figure on eBay, because it'll keep an eye out there and know what you're looking for, know what you want, and you can find some good stuff, and hopefully you can get a good price on it, not go into some crazy bidding war. And pet instant non-fat dry milk instant grade. No, that's not what's in this box, and this box looks a little old too. I wonder how old this box is. Anyway, you can barely see it, but on here someone must have had an old marker. It says dummy right there that they wrote on it. I don't know if that was recently written before they shipped it, or maybe that's where they kept this figure for a long time. So this is what I would consider a Frank Marshall Nosey figure, and it's really old. I can see from the hands and everything, the carving, from the pictures. It's probably, my guess, the decade of the 30s to 40s, no newer than that. So let me start cutting the box open some, and then let's see what we got inside. Yeah, some of the writing on this box looks really old. I kind of feel like this is probably where the figure was kept for a long time. And I'm a huge fan of Paul Winchell and the Jerry Mahoney figure. I just thought Paul Winchell was the best ventriloquist out there. I mean, he's my inspiration. Made his figure, as well as, you know, Danny O'Day for Bill Nelson. The list goes on and on. They had some nice parts too that I noticed for this figure, and it seems like the person who put it on eBay really didn't know a lot about the figure, so it wasn't theirs. It was probably a family hand-me-down, and it's a good thing because they didn't know the value per se. They just knew it was old. Look at the shoe. If you can see that, look at that shoe. What a wonderful shoe that is. That's a great shoe. Looks like a floor shine shoe almost, right? And that looks old. Let's see. Genuine leather. It is a Leviathan shoe. I can't really tell you much about this. I'm just seeing it for the first time and not knowing the history of this shoe making, but it's definitely old. And the hands, I know one of the hands is like busted somewhat on this, a wood hand. So whoever used this figure, all this stuff was just boxed up. And I'm not even sure what all of it is yet. I gotta figure it out. But anybody out there does know, wants to tell me, go ahead please and let me know. Look at this. Now, they didn't even know what these parts were. They just said this is what came with it. I see a screw on here. Well, there's a screw. And not knowing enough, is this for like a shoulder shrugging maybe? Or I don't know. I don't know yet. And then you got this. Looks like it's some kind of mechanism for animation maybe, to have the figure do something special. Oh, this is so old smelling. Ugh. You know how things are dusty, mildew, old smelling? That's the case with this. So, yeah, wow. I don't know if these are parts that Frank Marshall put with the figure for some of the movements it does. But, yeah, go ahead and let me know what you think it is, unless I figure it out by the time I put this video out. Huh. Wow. And there's like a pin in here. And that's a little blur nut. And here's more pieces. Another screw with thread around it. This flexible band. Another screw like that other one, very similar. It's the same exact screw as the other one. Another piece. So these things did stuff for movements of this figure that I have no idea yet. I'm going to have to figure it out because they didn't even know. They just knew it came with the figure. And this is what it was kept in. So look at this old box. Those pieces. There is nothing like the convenience of personalized checks by Colart. So it's like a check box. Very, very old box. We'll have to figure out what these pieces are used for, or if they're usable still. There you go. It's like a mystery. All these little things. Before I can even get to something good. Now there's the head. This person obviously doesn't know nothing about packaging for such an old item. They put some bubble wrap, but not really on the head, just around so the head could be placed. I don't want you to see the head yet. So old, so cool. Let's get to the body. Oh, it's an old wood body. And there's changes of clothes too in here, so we'll have to look at that as well. Old newspaper in the bottom of this, it's super old, and I see some about evangelist things. So I have a feeling this is a figure that was used by a preacher. Preacher probably used this figure. Look at this body. And it's a nice sized body. Definitely. 42 inch or so. Some more. Oh, so you know. These clothes, I don't know when they were gotten for the figure. This is the shoe, the other shoe. Here is one of the feet without the shoe. And it's a stuffing type foot. I don't know if it's hay or straw, but it almost feels like that. Now you're going to see what I'm talking about when you see these hands. Look how old these hands are. Very old. And yeah, look at that. Falling apart. Wow. And it had a spring here for the hand. So, okay, the battery just had died. And so I had to switch it out. And I was just showing the hands. So I don't know how much was caught, what was not shown. Hollywood kind of body. And look at the hands. This is what I want you to see. And it has a spring here in the hand, which is interesting. I don't know what that's about yet. If it did some special movement with the thumb, maybe. Looks like it was patched, maybe at one point. Interesting. So maybe somebody knows something about this out there. Look at the part right here where you can see there was like even screws put in here. So a lot of work went into this old hand here, and it's pretty damaged. Look at the other hand, and this one is in much better shape, and this one's a closed fist. So I'll have to take this jacket off that's on here so we can get a better look, better glimpse at it. Yeah, and these clothes definitely at a later time to put on this figure body. This thing is pretty, this guy's pretty old, so I don't want to damage him. As some of you may know, I do paranormal investigations.
I did not acknowledge hearing that voice. It sounds a bit sinister or robotic. My wife could not have made that voice. I will repeat it next.
All right, I feel better getting that jacket off. So, going back to the closed fist, yeah, you can see that it was nailed on and glued on the fabric for the body. And that's how this one fist hand was done. And they're both done this way, but this one's intact. No problems here. Let's see what this reveals. Well, it's just basically the same thing. As you can see, it's nailed onto the fabric with glue as well. Okay, this does have a closed fist too, really. So, I look at this one and I see the thumb here, a little more separated in detail, but yeah, this one is not separated, this thumb, where the other one was. Yeah, see, if you look in the body, inside the torso, so it's got the strips of wood that make up the frame of the torso. The bottom's wood as well, inside, as well as the top, where the head goes through, and it looks like there's also these two metal loops here that look like those hooks could go into there. So it's almost like I feel those hooks that I showed that are in that box would go into here for some reason. I don't think it's a head harness. And you got some over here actually inside here as well. If you look. Oh, it's made in the USA, these pants. And these pants are not stapled on. So somebody put these on afterwards. Another set of clothes in here that are probably the originals. I'm looking for markings that may say something like, oh, Frank Marshall figure or something. But I don't see it. Here's the bottom. Here's how the legs were tacked on. And look, speaking of tacked on, here's a tack right here that completely came out. It's just hanging loosely here. It's supposed to go in. I'll have to fix that. Oh yeah, this guy needs some TLC. Okay, so there's that. And let's take a look at the clothes, the extra clothes, which I think are probably original, but if nothing else, older. There's this fabric in here. Are these clothes for him? Maybe. Oh yeah, they are. They got the slit in the back, so you can put your hand through and make a flower on his jacket and his handkerchief. They matched in color. In the pocket. Yeah, this one is old and it's not kept well. Well, it's got the white buttons. Here's a jacket. This looks old. Wow. It's got holes in it. So, I'm not sure if this was for something he would sit on. I don't think this is something he would wear per se. This might have been part of a platform he sat on. Sort of like something like this, but you put that on top. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of clothes here. Oh boy, this is old. And it's just so musty and old smelling. Here, there you go. That's definitely old. It's got the slit in the back. Obviously was used. Pocket. No flower or handkerchief in it, though. These are pants. Connector instead of buttons and zippers. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know. It's hard to see. Okay, it's more fabric. Not made into anything. Oh, it's like an inner vest. Vest facade, I'd call this. Vest facade. No, this is not so when you're eating your crab, making a mess. Old school vest. Probably original with that one jacket I saw before and the black pants maybe. Looks like he had a bow tie. Yeah, nice. It's like an excavation taking place here from an old Frank Marshall figure. These need to be clean. I don't know what I'm going to do with some of these, if I want to keep them or not, but Browning, King and Company is the label on here. I don't know if you can see that. And it is a size for age 10, neck 12. Can you see that? Interesting. Another nice pair of pants, looks like. Yeah, these look like old school pants with those clips. No, this is a button on this one, not a clip like the other one. Okay, see? Nice little button. Does the button work? Yeah, it worked. Okay, this probably went with the vest. Definitely that white vest facade I saw before. This is like almost like a tuxedo kind of a thing with that vest. Makes sense. You think of the Charlie McCarthy kind of stuff and you know that time frame. And look at this old white, I guess it would have been a rose. It's supposed to be like a rose. Boy, it smells so old. And this is definitely 30s-esque style. Look at that. It's got fabric lining inside there that's shiny. Wow. And we want to use this on him with that vest. This would look best on him. The back does have the slit as well. It's got the coattails. 1989. So the newspaper isn't as old as I thought. But evangelicals gaining rapidly in Guatemala. Attend the church of your choice. Can you see that? So, yeah, I think this was a figure used by a preacher at one time. Who's probably long since passed away. Just like my Dexter, my Unsel figure was used by a preacher who passed away. But this guy's got to be pretty old. Here it goes. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. As well as I. The head. This is where the work, this is the mastery right here. He's very similar to this figure on eBay that this guy was selling for starting bid of $15,000, and it was an original that was not made by Frank Marshall, but of that time period. So this is probably made around the same time. Interesting. Oh, right in the neck here. Look, this fabric. I don't know if that's leather right there. Just for this part of the neck. They couldn't tell me anything about this. So look at the levers here. So you've got, these are self-centering eyes, side to side, and they go one way. They don't go the other way. So he looks to the left, which is, if you're right-handed ventriloquist figure, when you're talking to him, it's going to look at you. And here's the mouth, slot jaw mouth, and you can see where this taken apart. You can take the head off and work on the innards and mechanics. It's got this old wig, and it's on pretty good. I like the wig, actually. Look at that! Wow. See the screw right there and over there. It has to be taken out as well if you're going to take the head apart. So this guy looks pretty awesome, right? I think I do there, James. Yes, I do. I look pretty cool, don't I, huh? I'm trying not to use mechanics too much because they're old. And with that, yeah, it means he could hurt me. You don't want to hurt me too much, do you, there, James, huh? But here's another movement. It's metal. I don't know if this got replaced. And it still connects into the head for another movement. Let's try it out. What does that do? Ah! So we got one winky. What do you think, huh? That's cool too. You got a leather eyelid. Sweetie, hey? You talking to me? What the hell am I talking to you? You're not sexy? Hey! He needs tons of TLC. There's an art to getting this head back in to this piece. Just want to get in just enough so you can see it on the body. Even though his pants are down. Sorry. Yeah, it's embarrassing for me, James. There, you got my pants down and the world is seeing that. Awesome figure with his pants down. Yeah, thanks a lot, James. What a way to introduce me to the world on YouTube there. Thanks a lot. Thanks, yeah. Schnucko. Wait, what did you just call me? Schnucko. You don't call me Schmucko, that's Fats. Who? Who's that? Fats. Fats is over here. Oh, can you show him to me? Really? Yeah. I want to see him. Okay. This isn't about Fats, it's about you. I know. Alright, hold on. He's talking about you, Fats. Yeah, what a jerk off, eh? Schnucko. Hey, it's alright. Hey, no foul language. I know. Where's my tucker? What did you just say? Where's my tucker? Eh? Why are you saying that? That's that other guy, the Venfly guy says that stuff. No, it's me saying it. I just happened to be with him at the time, but now I'm with you. Eh? Fats, this is not about you. This is about the new guy, the new Frank Marshall figure. Well, he wanted me to come up there, Schnucko, so I did. Because I entered his body and I started doing a little ventriloquism. Oh, so the spirit of Fats got into the Frank Marshall figure, who doesn't have any personality of his own. I get it. What the hell is that? You okay? Yeah. That's right there, yeah, I'm fine. End the video, James. Alright, I'm ending with Fats about the Frank Marshall figure. I hope you enjoyed it.